So, we all know what electronic form is all about. When we talk about form, we know what form is all about. Form. So, which is a form like admission form, um, sales form. So, any form, wherever you feel, questionnaires, exams, and the rest. So, we have some of forms that we feel like on daily basis. When you get a job, you give your employee data form, all those forms. So all those forms are forms of forms that we can use, we fill on daily in the real life. We also have them in electronic form. So the electronic form is known as e-forms or digital forms. So they are just the alternative way to the traditional based paper form that we are used to. Electronic forms are used, forms that are created via computer. So they are filled by computer. You fill them on computer, not with biro or pencil or paper. In most cases, they are filled online. And one of the advantage, as we can see here, is that the distribution is very easy. You can share with as many people as possible, and you start seeing your report or the result on the real time. As they are submitting, you are seeing the report. So we have electronic form can be accessed and completed on computer, tablet, smartphone, like I explained earlier. It's not something you can fill with paper or biro or pencil. So, but you can use computer, whether it's internet or whether with internet or without internet. You can actually do that. So, but why do we need electronic form? Since we already have the traditional paper form that we fill, why do we need electronic form? Why? So number one, we have for efficiency. Electronic form are more efficient in the fact that they are faster to capture and to analyze. To capture your e-form is as easy as just as they are submitting. In most cases, the data itself is organizing itself. You'll be seeing them being organized as each one is submitting its own. You are seeing the report organized, which you can also sort and do whatever you want to do with it. It's also more accurate. It's more accurate in the sense that whatever the respondent fill into the form is coming directly as it is without any alteration into your database, either Google form or Excel or whatsoever. You are getting it raw. So which means that if you are using paper form and somebody is going to input it, there are possibility of errors. There are human error that can be made by somebody typing, or there is a mistake that you could not even see the writing, maybe handwriting of the person could not even be read. So we have accessibility. So wherever you are, you can quickly access the report. Both the person want to fill it. Once there's internet, you can fill the form from anywhere, wherever you are. And you can also fill the report. You can generate a report from wherever you are. You can quickly see your report. Data organization, collaboration made easy, and real-time monitoring, plus integration. You can quickly integrate the report into maybe Excel, PowerPoint, Microsoft Word. You can quickly integrate the report so that as somebody is working on another document, you can click it. Just a click will take you to wherever the database or the report is. So then the few things, part of what we can do with Google Form: survey and polls, registration forms, feedback, quizzes, contact. So, and all this, other form, application and resumes, event feedback, forms, volunteers, customer satisfaction. For sign-ups, customer satisfaction survey, perhaps maybe in a company as after this MTN or whatever, as a customer just called or buy something from you, you can submit, you can give them a form, customer satisfaction to fill, and they submit. So without any human interaction, either the MD, the CEO, or whoever is in charge of the form can see the customer feedback. Okay, on the scale of 1 to 5, rate our service. So they rate 1, 2, 3. Sometimes you don't need a name. So RSVP form, training evaluation forms, employee satisfaction, product feedback, travel and expenses, an expense reimbursement form, health and safety form, scholarship. So all these forms, all these are forms that we can actually use. We can create either by digital form or by the paper form. So from this, so we have, because this is a practical class, so we are moving towards the steps to follow while creating our form. Number 1, the first thing we have to do is determine the requirement, the form requirement. That is, what are the columns that you need in your form? Okay, this form is for customer satisfaction. On an anonymous basis, you don't need a name whatsoever. Okay, you can quickly just pick the form, and 1 or 2 lines or 2 columns are there. Then go ahead and do that. So we can identify the required field, define data types. That is, if your data type is going to be text or numbers or whatsoever, you have to define the type. Decide if the form is for one-time or repeated collection. If the form is going to be to end or to stop sometimes, so you also put that too. Then we have the next step is to choose the electronic form tool you want to use. So there are so many forms online that you can use. Once you search for electronic form online, there are so many forms that you can actually use online. So the most popular ones are the Google form, Microsoft forms, Jot form, type forms, and others. So these tools facilitate easy form creation and online response. So the next step after, the first thing is to know what are the requirements. Why are you creating the form? What columns do you need in your form? So the second step is to know, okay, which tool am I using now to create this form? Then the third step is to create the form itself. Use the choosing electronic form to design the form and add necessary field. In this case, when you talk about field, you're talking about columns. Field means columns. When you're talking about field, in this case, we're talking about columns. So add necessary fields and validation rules. Validation rules is about if you want your response to be text, or you want them to pick it, or selection, multiple selection, or whatsoever. All those ones, you have to include them. Then, if there is any other dynamic form behavior that you want to add, like rules, like you want to change it to question and answer, ordinary form, whatsoever it is. Then the next slide is how to distribute the form. So you distribute the form, you can share it via email, social media, or just copy the link and share it. You can also even embed it in your website or your maybe your local intranet within your company. Then we have collection responses. How do you collect the response? And the last one is export the response into spreadsheet. So I think we get to the end of the slide. So let's now move into the practical now. So I said, so wherever you want to use any of Google's product, just come in into your Google Google search page, just like this. Then these 9 dots that you have here, just click on the 9 dots. And in our case now, we want to make use of Google Form. So look for your form and click Form. Click Form. So the form will open directly for you to use. That's one. The other method is to type Google Form in your search. You can search for Google Form, or you can also check from your Google Drive. From your Google Drive, you can also use Google Form also, where we have plus. From this plus here, click on More, and you see Google Form here. So you see Google Form. If you click on this, it's going to open so we have 2 forms. So we can open your form from your Google Drive. You can open your form from your Gmail. You can open your form from your Google search homepage. So what we care about is to open Google Form. Now, this is the front page of Google Form. If you are using your mobile, also you can also use from your Google Form, from your Google Chrome search page, just search for Google Form. It's going to open your Google Form for you. And next thing is, let's follow the step like we said. We want to create a form. Assuming we want to create a form want to collect let's say employee data form. Employees data form now. So with this, or customer satisfaction data form, which one should we pick first? Let's use one. Which one do you suggest that we use? Should we start with employee data form? Which one do you suggest that we use first? Okay, let's try employee data form. So here you can see that here there is template. If you click on this template, if you see, look at this template, you have template for contact information, RSVP, party code, t-shirt design, party invite. So you want to find the time. So these are templates that can also be useful in case you don't know where to start from. All this can also be used. Feedback, order form, job application, time off request, work request. You can see there are a lot of templates here that you can actually use. So let's look at one now. Okay, let's look at contact information. Sorry, the network is somehow bad. Okay, so the first one we have here, I picked the contact information. So look at what we have. So these are the information we have here. Contact information, name, email, address, phone number, or comment. So if this one serves your purpose, let's say you want like I said, I want to collect, like I said that we want to collect contact customers employees data or employees information. So with this now, you can just come here and name your server. Change the name of the form, and you put the name you want to use, staff data, server. Just give it a name, and that's all. So with this now, your form is ready by just picking the form that a template that is already designed by Google. So from on the other way around, let's say you want to create it. So this one now, just click on send, and your data is ready to be shared either by email or whatsoever. It's ready. But let's say you want to create want to create it from a blank page. So let's see how that is going to go, how we're going to go about that. Let me go to my sorry, the system is somehow hanging. Okay. So let's create from a let's create from a blank database now, a blank page now. Now, like I said, the first thing we need to know, you must know the columns you are creating from your form. That's the first thing we have to know. For example, we want to get contact information from our new staff, or we want to create a database for them. So let's say we need a name, surname, want their surname, then other names. We want their email, their phone numbers, and date of birth. Then perhaps the date they join the company. And we want them to even upload their CV. So let's stop at that. Now, here we have a blank form. So the first thing we do, let's name this blank form now. Let's give it a name. Call it employee data form. The name is employee data form. Okay, so here, I come here and give it the same name. The network is a bit bad. Come on. Okay, bad. Okay, so let's give it a name. Not responding. Why? Okay. Well, let's try another one. Let me click on this and get another form. Perhaps it will work faster. So let's click a blank form and click on another new blank form now. So let's change the name of the form, title of the form. Let's name it new staff database. So we have the new staff database as a name. Remember, the first thing we need to do is to know the column that we actually needed for this exercise. So let's pick the column. The first thing we want to do is the surname. Our column requires the surname first. So you come to the first open question here and you type surname. It's already open. Now, after you pick surname, the next thing is to define the type of answer that you require. So you need short answer for this. Good. So you keep that. This is a required question. Under required here, you select this. Then it's going to make this one required. Required means that if the person did not fill this form, this part of the form, you will not be able to submit. This is one of the advantage of e-form. If it is just a paper document, I can decide where to fill and where not to fill and submit. Even if there is nil, you have to write 0 or minus or dash or whatever there. So, or else you're able to submit. The next thing now is you click on the next question, hard question. This plus signify hard question. So I can hard question now, or I can come here and click duplicate. I click duplicate. So now I've clicked on duplicate. Now I can now come here and say, these ones now, I want them to be other names. Other names. So the required answer is also short answer. I leave it like that. Then the next, let me add another question now. The third question now is the employment date. Employment date. Now that's another question now. You can see that automatically Google has suggested that this is going to be like date. Good. So we can leave it like that. It's going to be date, and it's suggesting month, day, and year. So let's make it required. Good. And the next one after that is their email addresses. Email address. Email address. So short answer also. So all these, most of these are short answers. Okay, let's look for one question that is not short answer. Let's look at okay. Okay, let me add next question. How did you hear about us? So this time around, this is no longer short answer now. So we have multiple choice, which means that we have to give options now. So in some cases, it may be a paragraph that the person is going to write something very long or whatsoever. That's also possible too. So here we have, let's say Facebook, add other ones, add options, newspaper, add options, then Twitter or WhatsApp or whatever. Now, you can see that I click on add others. In some cases, the options may not be limited to what we have here. So when the option is not limited, you give these others here. In case it's not from this, you can pick others. If others, you can have to specify which other is that. So let's make this required also. And now we want the person to submit a CV or whatsoever. Let's add a question. Submit your resume. And here you can say okay, file upload. So here let respondent upload their drive. Continue. Now you see that now this kind of question now is about file upload. Allow only specific file type, yes. If you want a specific type of document to be uploaded, not just any document. Is it document and PDF or image or drawing or whatsoever? You select that. Maximum type of files. How many files do you want to submit? Maximum of 3 files. Okay, 1, 5, 10. So, and the maximum file size, the size of the file that can be uploaded, you also include that that into same. Then make it this. Okay, I will not make this one required for the purpose of this class. So I think we've selected enough. We have had enough questions now. Now, and one good thing about this online thing is that you will see that everything is, as you are doing it, is safe. So now let's now, the next thing now is how to get this form across to people. I want to distribute this form now. How do we distribute the form? Click on send. So from the send, the first option here is, so you see, it's asking, do you want to collect email addresses? If you want to collect email addresses, yeah, you select collect email addresses, verify responded input or whatever. So if you don't want to collect it, leave it out. Then you can send, if you have their email, you can put their email addresses here. New staff subject, you can change the subject. I've invited you to this and that. And then you want it included in their email. If you want it to show from their email that they just fill from their email directly, you put it here. You uncheck this. Let me put an email here. bratu@gmail.com. Now, so with my email now, if you want to include form in the email, you check this box. All right. It's not highlighted. So the next thing is send. You send directly to the email provided. Or in the alternative, you can use this link button also. Click on this link button, shorten the URL, because if you don't shorten this, you have to copy a long name. This is the link to this form, but you can shorten this and copy. Then when you copy this, just send to individual to fill. So I'm sending this one to our WhatsApp group now. I'm sending to our WhatsApp group now for us to fill. So let's quickly fill the form. And there is so I just sent that. Okay. So I just sent the email now. If you want to preview your email, I've sent the link to us. Let's fill the form. You want to preview your email, your form. These small eyes that we see here, you click on it, it's going to show you the preview, how your form is going to look like. Can you see now? So it's going to show you how your form is going to look like to people who want to use it. So this is where the person is going to upload the resume or whatever you want the person to upload. It can be image, it can be anything at that time, and the person will fill and submit. So let me also fill a copy now. Let me fill a copy now. And let's say I say my name is Musa Aliyu. And the employment date, I say 01/01/2023. And we have the email to be brought to multiconcepts@gmail.com. So bratu-multiconcept@gmail.com. So how did you hear about us? Let's say others. So others, WhatsApp. And no other one, submit. I want to submit now. Okay. Okay. The Gmail there, submit. So I've submitted now. So let's now go back and see how our response is going to look like. So I hope some of us are also filling online. If you can fill your form, fill. If you cannot fill, just watch the class as the class is going. Now, with what I've filled now, I'm clicking on this response now. Can you see that we already have one response? This is the response. Who has responded? This email has responded. What's the name? This is the name and everything, just like that. Now, you want to fill the form. The next step is to download the form into Google Sheet or Excel. Click on this link to sheet. It's asking me, do you want to create a new sheet with this name, or you want to select existing spreadsheet? So I'm creating a new one. I click on create now. So that is one good thing about it. You can see that instantly, as you are filling the form, you'll be seeing the response coming up. This is a real live form. As you are filling it, you see it. So if you don't submit anything here, from here, you can just download whatever the person has submitted. And one more thing here, even while you have your questions here, while working on the question, you can also, let's say you are looking for date of birth, sorry. In some cases, you may want to hide something from the name here, from here. If we don't want the name, you want to edit the name. There's a way you edit the name in such a way that you only have just the date and the month only, without having to show everything. Okay, so I need to edit first. Okay, let me remove required and try to edit form. Include year. No, don't include year. Now I've removed the year from this now. You know, for example, let's say you want to get people's date of birth, and the people are sensitive about their age. So in that case, when you are using date, you can just use that option. Don't include the year, and then the year will go off from the form. Any question on that? Before we move on, any question? Oh. Network is bad though. Only 2 people left in the class. Wow. Any questions so far on this? Or we should move on? Can we move on? Can you hear me very well, please?
Yes, let's move on.
Okay, thank you, sir. So the next thing from this area of form is, let's say you want to use the question for the form for question and answer. So under these settings here, this is where you set your question. Let's look at a new form. Okay, there's an untitled form here. Let's change the name to test form. So with this test form now, this form is not responding. Let's call it test form. So this is test form now. Now let's go to settings here. From the settings here, you can just make the question a quiz. So when you make it a quiz, you have new set of options here. So how do you want to release the grade? Is it immediately after submission, or later after manual review, or miss? Okay. Do you want respondent to see which question was answered incorrectly? If you want it, you check. If you don't want them to know which one was wrong, you remove this so that they will get their score, but they will never know which answer was getting wrongly or which one was not getting wrongly. Respondent can see correct answers after grade are released. Yes. Or you don't want them to see the correct answer, just submit and go. You don't want them to see the answer, you uncheck this. You want them to see, you check it. So these are the options available when you are working with quiz. So you see that there are options here. The default question point. What is the point for each question? Is it 1 mark or 2 marks? Or it's going to vary? If it's going to vary, you come to the question here, answer key here. So from answer key, you see point here. Maybe the first question will carry like 10 points. You put 10 points here. If it's going to carry 2 points, you put 2 points. Let's say we have the first question is the first question now. This one is not. You choose the right question, title question. Okay, I will delete this. Let's I don't want this again. Let's pick a new question. So let's say the question here is 1 plus 1. And the question now here, since it's 1 plus 1, we can say, okay, the option 1 is 2. Add another option now. The option 2 is 3. Add this is 4. So we stop there. And the answer key is to select which one is going to be the answer. This is the answer key. And the point is going to be 2 points. Done. So we are done with this. So which means that whoever is speaking this now, this is going to be the right answer from the point of the Google whatsoever. So let's try and remove this. Okay, this for adding feedback. I'm not adding feedback. I want to edit this. I want to edit this question, maybe the name or whatever, or let's make it okay, DOG, fill in the gap. Fill it whatever, fill in the gap or whatever. We have a D-G. And we come here, we put O. Option 1 is O as in dog. Option 2 is S, and option 3 is a P. So answer key, we have this one to be 2 points also. 2 points also. You want to add a feedback dog and save. So let's stop at these two questions now, and let's preview it and see how it's going to look like. So I'm previewing this now. This is how the form is going to look like. Can you see now? So the first question now is, I want to pick my answer here. I can pick dog, but then pick S instead now. Pick S, and here I pick 2. So I got 1 out of 2. Let's submit. Let me submit now. And now the response has been recorded. View score. I can view it by myself. So this is fill in the gap. This is the right answer. No correct answer. Here we have. Okay, you can see that we did not allow people to view the right answer. So you can see in this case now, it's not showing us which answer is correct in this case because of the settings we had in our form. So that is how to fill form. So as the more you practice, the more you understand how the Google Forms also work. Now, the next thing we want us to look at is